Hey folks, Quill18 here, and today we're going to be playing Fate of the World. Fate of the World is a cheery little game where you try to stop the world from destroying itself. Mostly through things like global warming, running out of oil, coal, and other forms of energy, and just generally, you know, countries being dickish and trying to kill each other. It is a fairly challenging game, I will say. I have played through 2 of the maps. I've played through Rise of Africa, which is really just a tutorial lesson, and I've played Oil Fix-It. Now, I don't know how long it took me to play a game of this. Probably maybe no more than an hour, I would say. Maybe longer at first, when you're still kind of learning it and reading everything. But maybe, yeah, I'd say maybe an hour to play the map. Well, I've been playing this thing all freaking day because I kept failing. It was incredibly hard. And, you know, failing by small margins, so I'd always feel like, oh, I'm almost there, almost there. I just have to try something a little bit different. But it took quite a few different tries to get the combination that worked. And we're going to go right up until the next map. But many of them are unlocked, but I'm going to do them one at a time here. So the next one is Fuel Crisis. Mankind stands at the brink of 2 disasters. The specter of peak fuel production alongside ever-worsening global warming. Your job is to navigate humanity's way through these potential disasters and reach 2120 with hope still intact. So, I win when I get to 2120. I lose through a variety of factors, which we'll deal with in-game, just because some of it might not make any sense to you right now. I'm going to hit next, and I believe you will get a cutscene telling you exactly who we are and what our role will be. Nope, we got to name ourselves first. So, we are obviously Quill. And we will be addressed as Your Excellency. I like that, I think. Learned one is pretty good too. Master, not dude, no. Your Excellency, I like a lot. I really like the fact that they've got this option in here because it makes the text a little bit more interesting when you read it. And I don't know, I liked it. Here we go, this is going to be cutscene. When environmental collapse cannot be ignored. I feel like I need an echo. Ignored, ignored, ignored. How should civilization respond? On. Woo! Fate of the World. I actually like their globe here. Very nice. 2010. Through a decade of economic uncertainty and growing civil unrest, the world faces the most erratic weather ever recorded. 2018. Cyclone Sanvu. Experts are calling Sanvu the world's first hypercane. Smashing into an already storm-beaten coastline, officials fear that the devastation here will be felt for years to come. By 2100, dangerous temperatures are a deadly possibility. Shrinking ice caps may result in the extinction of the polar bear in mere decades. Evacuation. The president of the Maldives admits inevitable migration. With the seas rising around the islands, the president pleads to the leaders of the world to act against further climate change. 2020 Climate Summit. The world responds. The protection of our environment is too important to our future to remain governed by the short-sighted carelessness of individual nations. The Global Environment Organization will act where action is needed, with the will and support of all nations, to ensure a better future. A mix of celebration, skepticism, and fear as the controversial GEO is established. All eyes are now on President Quill to see precisely what kind of measures the GEO will take. And any of you who have seen my games know that President Quill is not always a good idea. Alright, so here we are in the year 2020. We've got our lovely planet Earth. Ah, lovely. Looks like North America, Europe, it's currently nighttime. Midday over here in Southeast Asia. We can check out, see if there's any StarCraft being played in Korea. Nope, can't zoom in. Damn. Okay, so this is the world. Yes. And we represent an organization that needs to save it. So, we can do a few things. First, let's check the news reports right now. Not much to report on. Global population is growing. No problem, it's at 7.3 billion. Okay. We've got a variety of graphs we can check out. These are global emissions. This is global temperature. This is temperature above pre-industrial Earth, basically. So before we started to pump out a lot of CO2 and things like that in the atmosphere, we were here. So temperatures have increased since then. This is 2010. This is pretty much where we are in real life. And here, and it's projected to keep going up. So obviously that's a bad thing. And in fact, one of our objectives, one of the ways we can lose, is if warming goes above 3 degrees. We will lose. Just because it will destroy the environment. Right? Okay. HDI, this is the Human Development Index, and it basically just measures the development of a nation. You can use this to determine if a nation is developed, underdeveloped, you know, the whole first world, second world, third world country thing. So globally we're about here. We lose if we fall below 0.5 globally. Doesn't matter what an individual nation is, but yeah. World GDP, that's good. The more money that countries make, the more we get paid, actually, so it comes up a lot. And here is the total production. This is in terawatt hours. This is energy production in the world. If we mouse over, you can see this is oil down here, coal, gas, and uranium, so nuclear power. Now, you can drill down into these quite a bit further by clicking the details here. So this is our fuel production. You can actually see the entire chain. Conventional oil, tar sand oil, shale oil gets added to total oil production, and so on. Now, if I drill down to some of these, so this is the HDI, where these are all weighted in from, but global food comes in. You've got these icons here. You can click further and further and more information. Here's emissions. And if you're looking at a specific country as opposed to globally, you actually get a lot more information than that. Okay, so that's that. That is nothing. This is your wiki, your guidebook in here. All right, first thing we need to do is we need to get some agents into some of the countries, because right now we can't act. Now, I had a very different mission last time. I don't even know how to approach this, to be honest. Almost wish I'd replay. Maybe I should replay the other one. That way I would know what I'm doing. But all right. Oh, and here's our money. We have. Actually, I can click on that, can't I? So this is my balance. 788 what? Billion, we'll call it $1 billion, and the income. So some countries give us lots. Europe gives us lots of money. China gives us lots. North America gives us lots. It's just based on GDP. Of course, the places with more population and also better economy will be generating a lot more. Oceania, for example, doesn't generate a lot simply because there's not a lot of people there. And then India is very, very populous, but doesn't actually generate as much as some of the other places simply because their GDP is not ideal. So, India and China are very big, and anything you do there is going to have a huge impact on the world in terms of energy usage and pollution. And I'm wondering if it may be worth bringing up India's GDP just so we make more money, but also because once they're past this sort of still developing stage, then they will be able to use some higher tech. Look, hey, I didn't realize that. The sun actually moves. Darkness is falling. Oh, that's so awesome. Alright, let's stick some agents. We're going to get, we'll get a couple in India. And Japan and Oceania are pretty important. Yeah, actually, we're going to hit a bunch of these places. Places that we can hit up for extra money. Because we like that. Okay, let's just recruit agents there for now. Now you can see over here I've got icons, so I can actually go into these countries and check them out. So for North America, for example, we are going to initiate something called the Tobin Tax, which is not going to make them very happy. And I have no idea if it's a good idea to do right now, but it just taxes financial transactions and will give extra money to the GOE, so I can have more money to play with. This makes people extremely unhappy and also kind of hurts the commercial sector of town. I don't know if this is going to work, but we're going to try this. I'm going to do the same thing over in Europe. And you can see the money gets added right away, because this is sort of my budget for the next 5 years, actually. These are all programs I'm putting into place for the next 5 years. In Russia, I can... Oh, wow, actually I can do it right away. They're totally stable. Okay, Russia gets it too. We're going to kickstart tons of money. Japan, yes, you as well, and I believe we can also do it in Oceania. These are the only places with GDP good enough to allow me to do that. For example, if I go to India, that is not an option. Now, it is going to tick them off quite a bit. We've raised some money, though, so well, let's come back and check it out soon. Let's take a look at India. So we can look at lots of stats. So their HDI is a little bit lower. It's projected to go up, but what improves the HDI? Well, a couple of things. The main numbers that come in are the GDP per capita. That's gross domestic product. That's how much money people make per person. Let's compare India to North America. North America, $51,000 per person. India, $4,000 per person, so much lower. So what we would like to do is improve that quite a bit, and that would improve our HDI. But also the life expectancy is sort of poor, and the reason for that we'll check out in a minute. Also the education index, this also brings down the HDI, so getting people more educated is very, very good. Now if we click over here to the population, and then to welfare, you can see the life expectancy number here is a combination of birth rate, infant mortality index, and adult mortality index. And the biggest contributor to this is just things like disease. And the biggest contributor to that is just pollution. And India is a heavy coal-burning nation. They also have some problems with food, so that is not good. We're going to start with a reforestation program, actually. Now, I don't know if we're actually going to follow this through right to the end, actually. We may just use it for a bit, because this is a long-term project to try to improve things. The first thing that they do is actually they try to optimize the farming so that you get more farming out of each parcel of land. So we're going to try to focus on that. And then we may cancel it in the short term rather than actually plant more trees. We're going to check that out. I think a regional welfare office is also good. So these are all projects. You can see that project, this takes $25 to implement, and it'll happen over 5 years. So 5 years is one turn in this game. So that's a pretty quick thing to do. Let's see, their stability is good. You know what, we'll probably, I'm thinking we're going to focus on India a fair amount. We'll build an environmental protection office as well. Just see if we can get them out of the sort of poor health, raise their GDI, and have them really become a huge contributor to the world, because that's really the direction India is moving in. So we're going to be true to that. Oceania. So the Tobin Tax, it's going to piss them off a lot. I would also like them to do research. I'm going to actually get a second recruit here, which I didn't explain in India, but I'm spending some money to open some more card slots so that I can play more, and we're going to build a regional technology office here in Oceania. And on that card, let me cancel that actually, you see at the bottom the little plus heart, these indicate their happiness, their regional support for the GEO, which is what I am. So it'll actually make them happy if I open a regional technology office, which is good. It'll help counteract the Tobin Tax, although this is an every turn thing, so it's going to be, we're going to have to keep making them happy. And we'll do the same thing in Japan actually. As far as Russia goes, do I want to open a second slot? I don't know. Actually, what I think I'm going to do is make sure I've got... Let's open up a slot everywhere. I've got enough money. We'll get everything unlocked. I'll check out the Middle East. The Middle East has some terrible stability problems right now, so we're going to make sure to build a political office for now, so we can help settle that a little bit. North Africa, same thing. Oops, I forgot South Africa. Or Southern Africa, rather. Not the country. But Africa is so big, it's divided into two. And Latin America, they're pretty decent there, so maybe we'll just... environmental protection seems like a good idea. These little dots, I don't know if you can see it just next to the name of the region. If they're dark, that means I haven't used all their card slots. If they're green, that means they're all filled out. Southeast Asia... Southeast Asia? You know what? Reforestation. We're going to do the same thing in China. China's very big. It'll probably really get the benefit from that. And actually, we're going to do the same thing over in Latin America. So they don't really need anything critically. And the sooner we can do this, I think the better. And there we go. We've literally spent all our money perfectly. $38 doesn't leave us with a lot of extra room. We can't even recruit someone else. So we are just going to skip to the next turn. And advance 5 years. So we've now officially hit 1 degree of warming. So you can see here, this is the temperature that we're at, 1 degree. the red, and the orange is the predicted increase in the next 5 years. This is where we'll be at 2100, and here's where we'll be in 2200, which we won't actually get to. Our goal is right around here, 2120. And the problem is, if we go above 3, we lose. So right now it's projected that we will definitely lose. We are going to have to reduce the temperature, definitely. And a big part of that will be reducing emissions, but for now we just have to get things kick-started. So things will get hotter before they get better. There's a rise in Arctic methane reported. Melting ice and permafrost in the Arctic region is resulting in large quantities of methane constantly being released from the seabed and newly exposed wetlands, resulting in increased greenhouse effect. That's part of the problem. The more the polar ice caps melt, the worse things get. I believe they also reflect a lot of sunlight, I think. So, yeah, you're losing that. Global oil production has peaked, yeah. So, our global oil production is now falling. We are going to get less and less oil every year, rather than more and more and more. Population goes up. We've discovered a new technology in Europe, advanced drilling breakthrough. Announced the breakthrough facilitating greater exploitation of fossil fuels and increasing geothermal power potential. So we can now drill deeper than ever before, which will help us temporarily delay the problems of peak oil, because we can extract more and more and more of it. But eventually these technologies will run dry, so to speak. This is the emissions coming from everyone, including, I think the bar in the back shows where they are predicted to be. Oh, no, wait. This little hourglass-looking thing is where they're expected to be, and the bar behind them is where we actually are. Now, right now, they're all pretty in line. Anywhere where it's green, it means we've actually produced less emissions than are predicted, so that's good. Anywhere where they're red, they're over. But this first year is not really representative of anything. And this is GEO support everywhere, and everyone's okay with us right now. No one's particularly happy, but everyone's kind of okay-ish. So we've got a bunch of places that finished their job. So if we check out South Asia, you can see they're still working on protecting land, soil, and forest. And if we check the news, dangerous deforestation averted. That's good. But now the agriculture groups are claiming that food supplies are being threatened. That's not good. Okay, I'm checking the news. Grassland Management. Better husbandry of grasslands include grazing, nutrient management, organic soil amendments, increasing agricultural yields, and reducing emissions in South Asia. That's good. That's what we want. So our farming is getting more and more efficient. I think we'll leave it on for now. We'll check China. Same thing. El Nino disrupts monsoons in China, so they're actually going to get a bit of a drought here. In Russia, the Tobin Tax has been disabled, actually, because they are now unstable. That's not good. So we're actually going to have to work on their political office and then improve their stability before we can keep using stuff. Europe is still there. Still Tobin taxing, that's good. We're going to add a second slot, though, and then we'll do a little bit of reforestation everywhere, maybe? No, it's not as important there. Environmental protection? Sure. North America, Tobin tax, they're still okay with it for now. Here we're still improving the land. Grassland management, good. Alright, South Africa is a little bit unstable. India. India is even stability, which is not ideal, but I'm not worried about it yet. I don't think we're going to need to fund any law enforcement there. We'll try to improve them through alternate means. So, okay, Indian farmland suffers topsoil problems. That's really not going to help them. Water stress is also really bad. India, we really have to watch their food sources here. So water management program is going to be important. We also want to help prevent erosion if we can. And I would like to set up the educational enrollment just to help kickstart the education. Also, it'll improve the HDI, which is very nice. I think that's the best way to proceed here. Let's do that. I like it. Japan, you are kind of unhappy because of the Tobin tax, which sucks. But you are going to be researching some stuff for me. Japan likes robots. Let's give them robots. We're also going to buy an extra slot for them. And try to improve their happiness, probably through the Environmental Protection Office. Oceania, still decently happy, which is good. You are going to research biotech for me. Biofuel, nanomedicine, yes, very, very good. We're going to try to get some more research going on. Actually, we'll start it in Europe as well. We'll unlock an extra slot here. And perhaps North America. Oops, it's already up. I keep misclicking. Africa is still unstable. Middle East is volatile, which is not good. Alright, that's all used up, but we still have points left over, so we're going to want to buy some extra cards. I would like to help the Middle East a little bit more, because obviously they're going to be pretty important in the next little while for oil. So I'm also going to put up a Environmental Protection Office just to help them out that way. Forgot that. Oh, Russia could probably use a little bit more. They're pretty important as well. Let's go. Yeah, environmental protection is good. China can do a lot for us. And we don't have to spend all our money, but it seems like a good idea. Okay, let's buy a second slot here. Let's go there, and in China. Get environmental protection offices everywhere. And yeah, sure, South Asia. You'll get one as well. Okay, next turn. 2030. Resource demands outpace supply of oil. Okay, so we're 1% short of our oil supply that we need. That's not ideal. Last of the summer ice. The Arctic Circle is now virtually ice-free in the summer. Species are in crisis, communities are in turmoil, and the seas are rising. Population is growing. Smart grids breakthrough in North America. Perfection of smart grid technology allowing energy demand and supply to be intelligently balanced across a region. This really helps you implement renewable resources. So that is going to be really helpful. We'll see if we can't spread that around a little bit. Russia is way ahead in emissions. Much, much worse than expected. That is unfortunate. And they also don't like us a whole lot. Neither does Japan. Oh man, we may actually lose this super quick. Okay, we need Japan to like us a lot more here. So we're going to improve their water management and also defend against their drought and erosion. Because probably, yeah, storms have cut off parts of Japan, kill whole families, and they hate the Tobin Tax. So yeah, we'll go in with the anti-storm thing. I don't know if drought's actually a problem in Japan. It might be from time to time. And they'd also be happy with some of this stuff. We'll go Regional Welfare Office. So Russia. Man, okay, you're still unstable. Which means no more Tobin taxing. Of course, you're pretty unhappy too. What kind of problems are you facing? You're getting storms and wildfires, so you're actually getting both water problems. Too little and too much. So we'll see if we can't put up some protection for you. Europe, how you doing? Well, you're still moderately happy. Nothing horrible, except your things are undersupplied because there's not enough oil in the world. Yeah, I see that. You know, the Middle East here, that's what we're going to do. We're going to make sure you've got a regional energy office because that'll be important. You're still unstable. And any other problems? We want you happy. Shale, gas drilling here. Dry year. Okay, so some anti-drought stuff. That makes perfect sense. Yeah, we'll buy you an extra slot. And we'll go for... Actually, we'll go for the water management program, which I think will be pretty good. India! You need lots of stuff. More water infrastructure. Famine relief, yeah, because you're hurting right now. If we break this down, where did we go to see that? That's where I just was. There's a way to tell what the food situation is like. Actually, I think that's one of the problems, actually. There's not a really good direct way of telling where the food, what food situation is like. I think the best you can see is something like, the birth rates are falling. The infant mortality is going up, and the adult mortality is going up, probably because of food issues. So what can we do for that? Organic farming won't help. We can do famine relief, which we're spending some money. Doesn't actually fix the cause of the problem, but does help us stay okay in the meantime. You know what? You're gonna need technology. We're gonna need more slots in India. If we're gonna fix India, we're gonna have to really go at it hardcore. Yeah. So there's grow agriculture. Maybe an idea. The problem is already the workforce is pretty concentrated in... Actually, it's not really that concentrated in agriculture. I'm wrong. They're very commercial oriented, which is not entirely ideal. Huh. We're going to actually need to bring up their industry and their agriculture. But that's spending a lot of money and using a lot of cards for that. Oh, let's check the news. What's our regreening thing? Methogen vaccine is nice for livestock, so that'll cut down on... Oh, and reforestation projects have initiated, which is... We don't need that much. Okay, we're going to cancel the protect land, soil, and forests here. Actually, we'll do a full sweep everywhere where we had the reforestation, which isn't most places, actually. Set that up here. We just want to make sure if they've got it. If they've started reforestation, we'll start. Now this is just deforestation slows, methogen vaccine. Okay, that's going to be good enough. You are going to get reforestation. Same here. Same here. Yeah, same for Russia. Can we reforest the Middle East? I have no idea if this is the right thing to do, by the way. I've mentioned before. Right, you're already doing it. Are you done it? Probably. Yeah, reforestation starting, so let's cancel that. Deforestation slows. We call that good enough. Oceania. You could use some of that. You don't have the same population. It's probably not as much of an issue. Alright, we're going to say that that's good enough. We don't have to do any more reforestation other than places we've just started. Smart grids breakthrough is very nice. Now, do they get that automatically? Yeah, we don't actually have to build that. They just get it. But now if we go somewhere else, like Latin America, actually that's a bad example. Japan, I can spend money to acquire smart grids for Japan. So that lets us better advance renewables. So, Latin America, stable, decently liking me. I guess you're okay. I don't know what to suggest for you. We're gonna put in some of these guys. What's your HDI? Alright. Pretty decent. Not decent enough to necessarily be a research hub. But you'll do alright. And so we're just gonna try to keep you a little bit happy. We're gonna do some drought resistance. Europe, Tobin Tax, yeah, we want to keep you very happy. And drought and erosion resistance. One of the reasons you do this is, A, putting in the cards could make them happier, but also if they hit a drought, they become very unhappy with you, so this helps prevent that. China. Okay, China, you need one of those, because we're going to start tweaking with your energy output soon. Drought resistance. South Asia, drought and storm. Right, in India, famine relief. And you know what? Yeah, we're going to start with an eco-awareness campaign. We're going to try to get you to maybe balanced as your environmental outlook. Most places start off fairly materialistic or consumerist. And, oh, China's actually balanced, which is pretty impressive. The greener you get, the happier they get about green initiatives. So that's it for our money right now, unless, ooh, yeah. Japan, actually, we're going to have to cancel the Tobin Tax. Oh, we don't have enough money if we do that, though. Let's hope, okay, let's see what happens. We may lose Japan, which would actually be a horrible start to this game. Temperature's still going up. Emissions are actually increasing. Global gas production is falling. That's no good. Oil production is on the rise, though. That's good. Thanks to increasing of unconventional oil production, so those are tar sands. Population continues to grow. Alright. Okay, Japan really fracking hates us. Yeah, it refuses to do the Tobin Tax anymore. It's now unstable. Oh man, we're just wrecking things over here. We need to make them a little happier. So let's see. Yeah, anti-GEO riots. They like the defense measures. Oh, seawalls. Yeah, they were good for that. Yeah, they hate those taxes. They have smart grids now, which is nice. Cover from storm with help. So the fact that we actually had storm protection and the seawalls actually really helped make them slightly happier. So because we would have lost them, we definitely need to improve our relations here big time. So let's work on more things that give us the plus heart. Eco-awareness campaign will help. Let's just keep up with the drought and flood protection, just because if one of those hits,